When I picked up the GLE43, I wanted specific features that I couldn't find in all the cars. One had this, one had that. It was very difficult to find everything I wanted, so I had to kind of just let some things go. But that doesn't change the fact that I still can change those things after I've already purchased the car. One of those things being the interior trim. It did come with a really nice interior trim, but I've always wanted the carbon fiber interior trim. So I went ahead and found a secondhand OEM set, and I am going to be polishing that set, and we're going to be installing it into the GLE. Pretty straightforward process. We've got to remove some trim panels. The door cards all have to come off, and then we can begin removing and installing the new pieces. So let me show you what I'm working with. Here is the new to me carbon fiber trim. All OEM Mercedes in really nice shape. This is what it looks like now with minor scuffs and such throughout. So here's a sample of what it's going to look like after I polish it. I've already did one piece and it looks brand new. So all of these pieces will look like that. I'm using Manzurna 2500 medium cut. I'm going to be using my Griots. Random orbital. This is their newest model. This is the smaller handheld one. And then I don't think I need to do the super finish, but I think I'll just do it since I have the pieces out. We'll make it look really nice. Let me show you the current trim, which is also really nice and will be for sale, but I just wanted the carbon fiber trim. All of this stuff here looks really nice. We'll be removing all of that on the doors and then installing our carbon. So with removal on the door cards, these covers on the Harman Kardon speaker tweeters pop off. This trim pops off. There's a torque screw behind this little cover back here, which I'll pop off. Then there's just clips all the way around. We'll use our wedge tool, pop that off. And then once we have that off, we'll disconnect the door handle, and then we'll be able to access the back side of this trim, which we'll then disassemble, and then disassemble all of our seat switches and reinstall them on the new trim. A little bit of a time-consuming procedure, but when it's all said and done, it's going to look great. So let's get to buffing this trim. So you don't want to be pushing down on this with the buffer, so you're going to have to hold it in your hand very firmly and then buff while it's in your hand. Then prior to that, wipe the surface area down. I've already wiped it down with some Windex. Get your compound. Spread it out. Start off with a 2-speed. Quickly apply it on here nicely. And get a firm grip on this. Go ahead and do that. On this side here. Now we can up the speed. Still plenty of compound. This is where you want to hold tight. Looks really nice. I think
think we can make it look a little bit better. There's some small swirls there. All right, finished up polishing this first door trim and it looks amazing. Could go the extra step and then ceramic coat this, which I might, but we'll see. I could also do that when it's in the car. So now we're just gonna do a 3500 on all of our pieces. All right, let's go with the last two pieces. Doing this on a 4-speed. Don't have to get too crazy. If you guys noticed, I already pulled this out. This is simple. You just pry it off with your hands. And for the next step, you're going to take the wedge or pry tool, pry this. You're going to have two tabs that'll pull down on the radio. And then the radio will slide out. That'll give you access to the screws for these vents. Then you can remove the vent, and then we'll have access to just pull all this trim back. And yeah, so let's go ahead and start doing that. Wedge that in there. Let's do that again. Okay. Actually, these are screwed in with T20 Torx. So we will go ahead and try to remove those. I'm gonna drop that wherever the hell that went. So I'll look for that. These then drop down like such. And your radio slides out like such. That'll give us access to take the vents out. And then we'll be able to pull our trim out. Alright, so pulling these vents out, you're probably going to end up pulling just the trim off. That's not what you want to get off. You want to get the whole vent out. So there's a little divot here. Yep. Pulling tool. And it's pretty stubborn, so watch out. And before my camera cut off, so yeah, this is just held on by tabs. Put the pry tool in there, and then this will come out. Then this just pulls back. But before you do all of that, there's two screws. There's these little clips you pry open with a flathead, and then get your T20 back there, and remove the screws like so. Screen just like that, and your screw comes up here. You got a couple plugs. Okay, got our screen off. Put that in a safe spot up there. There we go. Got it. There's one plug over here. Let's go ahead and plug our light in. I did the extra step and I changed the LED from my original one because it looked like it was in better shape. If you want to do that, you can do that too. Make sure you're testing all the lights before you put everything back in. I already did, so I know it's good. Okay. That's in. Go ahead and pop the vents back in. Alright guys, the final piece in the center. Oh. Nice. How good is that? Sick. So nice. Looking good. Now we just got to do the doors. We're done. All right, now we're going to remove the door card off the driver's side door, and this process is the same for the passenger side door. You're going to want to pry the cover for the Harman Kardon tweeter off, and then remove the trim surround around the window. With that out of the way, you're going to pry up these two tabs right behind the tweeter where you see me pulling up, and then once you pop those out, you can easily pull away that trim that goes around the window. After that, there is a very stubborn clip that is holding this door card in. You have to push it in all the way. Maybe not all the way, but when I did it before and I didn't push it in all the way, I wasn't able to take the door card off. Once you push that pin in, it falls into the abyss and you can't get it. So it's just in your door. Otherwise, you have to take apart the whole door, and that's a whole nother job for itself. So I didn't see any other way around it. If you guys do know of one, let me know in the comments section. But that's how I got it off. I just pushed it in, and I didn't reuse the centerpiece. I just pushed back the old outer part, which still there's plenty of clips holding this door card in. After that, you're going to pry out this cover, which will reveal your Torx bit. It's a T30. Undo that, and then use your pry tool to pry the pry tool that I used has a bigger hook and a handle, which makes it easier to pull back and pop those clips off. Some of them may break. In my case, I think maybe one semi-broke. I was able to reuse all of them without a problem. After you pull that back, you're going to then push up on the left side and remove the door card seal, which is resting on the frame of the car itself. But that stubborn clip was holding me up here. Once I got that out, I was able to pull the door card up. So about an hour later, with me messing around with this clip, I'm exaggerating here, but it did take a long time. I was able to get it out finally, and now we're going to go ahead and lift this door card up, and it is on there pretty firmly, so you're going to have to work it. And once that pops off, you'll feel the whole door card be pretty much loose. Remember to lift up over the door lock pin, and that will free up the whole door card. But then you're going to have wiring that's holding it, so you're going to have to unplug the wires from the control module on the door itself on the inner panel, which is what I'm doing right now. With the door panel off, you're going to go ahead and remove all the T20 Torx bits, and then you'll be able to free up the actual door trim itself with the handle. Prior to that, you had to lift up the latch cable that popped into that space on the handle there you guys saw. Right now I have the trim piece out, and I am working the buttons all out with little tabs. You have to push up from the bottom with your fingers, and then these will come up. Be careful not to break the pins that hold it in place. With all of the buttons installed on the new carbon fiber trim piece, you're going to pop that guy back into the door card. Make sure to feed the wires through, and be careful not to break any of the tabs when you're pushing it in. Make sure everything's lined up nicely, and pop that guy right in there, and then fasten everything down with your Torx screws, and you are all set. When you finish up the front doors, the rear doors are a little bit different. You're going to pop off this tweeter
it'll pop right out pretty easily. And then behind there, you'll have a connector. You'll unplug the connector to get the tweeter off. And as you see, there is a T30 Torx behind this, which is a little hidden screw I didn't know about until I looked into it. After that, there's another Torx by the handle like on the other doors in the front. With both of the Torx screws out, you'll start prying the door card away from the actual door. With the window open, you just pull towards you and the door panel will slide off. Then you want to unplug everything and pop the wire through here. Then undo the cable for the door latch, pop that upward, and then unplug your plugs from the module and your door card. And as all the other doors, you're going to undo these T20 Torx and the wood trim will pop off, and then you could swap in your new carbon fiber trim. That will not require you to transfer any of the buttons, as there is no buttons on these.
It is the next day. I was up till like 2 in the morning putting in this carbon trim, and yeah, it's not the easiest if it's your first time around, so don't rush it because it's very easy to break clips and lose trim pieces, etc. So let me show you how the end result came out. It's really nice. Look at that. Looks fantastic.
Looks like it's in better shape than mine was. I was able to polish out the black trim. I gotta touch up some of this still and polish that up, but what a transformation. Looks sick.
Got all the doors as well.
Everything works as it should.
That was a little bit of a pain, but well worth it. The car looks fantastic. I'm really happy with the carbon. I think it looks great. Always wanted carbon trim in a newer car. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.